Good morning, children. This is lecture number 4 for class 6. We are dealing with the chapter number 4, the human digestive system. In the previous lecture, we had discussed about the organs of digestive system, and as well as we have discussed digestive glands also in the previous lectures. So almost the organs as well as the glands that are present in the digestive system all we had discussed. Now today the main process we are going to discuss about, that is the process of nutrition. That is the main process in which today we are going to discuss that how the digestion occurs in the body. So now in this we are these parts, you can see the process of nutrition. It is divided into mainly 5 parts. So these parts are, the process of nutrition is divided into 5 parts, that is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. So these are the 5 main parts of process of nutrition. We can ask you, write the name of the process of nutrition. So what answer you will give? You will simply say ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. This answer is, if you are giving the headings, that answer will be for only 2 marks. If we ask you, write the detail in the process of nutrition, so you have to write about these processes. So one by one we are going to take these processes. So first process that we are going to take now is ingestion. Okay, as the name is ingestion means related to digestion. So in means when the food is going in. So how the food goes in? The food goes in with the help of mouth. That is the first part of the digestive system. Now when the food goes to the mouth, as I have told you, in the mouth the mainly the digestion of starch it starts, but complete digestion of starch does not occur inside the mouth. So from the mouth the food get mixed with the salivary amylase, that is the enzyme, saliva, and then the food it goes to the stomach. Okay, now when the digestion of the food is occurring in the mouth also. So ingestion means the food has gone inside the body through the mouth. Now after that the digestion of food starts in the mouth. With the help of which digestion is occurring in the mouth? In the digestion occurs in the mouth, starch it digested with the help of salivary amylase. Now the starch is present in the food. Now the digestion of starch occurs, it begins in the mouth, but it is not completed in the mouth because the food is for a small time in the mouth. Now inside the mouth, when we chew something, that food it changes into semi-solid. Suppose you have taken one bite of chapati, so you are chewing it. After some time some juice secretes inside your mouth. So the bite that you have taken, it changes into semi-solid. So that semi-solid food is called bolus. We can ask you, what is bolus? It is given in the book also. I will show you. What is bolus? So the semi-solid mass of food is called bolus. Bolus is swallowed by tongue and goes down to the food pipe, and food pipe is also called esophagus. Okay, as I have told you, the esophagus carried. What is the function of esophagus? No digestion occurs in the esophagus. The function of esophagus is only to carry the food to the stomach. Okay, as I have told you in the previous lecture also, the wall of the intestine it contract and expand, and because food pipe contains muscles, so that because of that these muscles they expand and they contract, so the food goes down into the stomach. Okay, so when the slightly digested food enters the food pipe, the wall of the food pipe start contraction and expansion movement. The contraction and expansion movement of the wall of the food pipe is called peristaltic movement. Very important. We can ask you, what is peristaltic movement? So the contraction and expansion movement of the wall of the food pipe, when it is contracting and expanding, that movement is called peristaltic movement. Okay, now from the food pipe, the food goes into the stomach. In fact, the peristaltic movement moves the food to all the digestive organs through the alimentary canal. What does it mean? It means that when the food is moving, when the food moves down, means alimentary canal means till rectum, or you can say till anus. When the food is moving, that peristaltic movement, it is continue. Now from the food pipe, the food has reached to the mouth. Now in the food has reached to the stomach. Now the stomach, as I have told you, it produces the gastric juices, contain hydrochloric acid, have enzyme, pepsin and mucus. All these things I have explained you before that also. So all these things, they get the digestion started in the mouth. I have told you why the hydrochloric acid produced, because it kills the bacteria, and why the mucus is secreted, because mucus, it protects the inner wall of the stomach, leading to the formation of ulcer in the stomach. If mucus will not be there and hydrochloric acid will be there, so it will produce ulcer in the body. So that is why the secretion of mucus is also important. Now after that, in the stomach, almost the digestion starts. All the food material that are coming into the mouth, from the mouth to the food pipe and then to the stomach, then in the stomach the enzyme pepsin, it is present and it starts the digestion of food. Now after the stomach, the food, it goes to the small intestine. Now small intestine is long and narrow. So when it receives, small intestine receives the secretion from the two organ, already I have explained, from the liver and the pancreas. So liver secretes bile. So now this is the part of the intestine only. All the enzymes which we have discussed previously, all the enzymes, they act now on the food and they broke the proteins, peptones, proteoses, polypeptides, and the chain of amino acid is formed. What are these? These when the proteins, they are broken down into smaller pieces. So many type of things formed when they are breaking down. So they can be, the proteins can be broke up into peptones, proteoses, polypeptide, or they may be broken into chain of amino acid. Same way, the fatty acids, they convert into fatty acids plus glycerol. Already see the previous lecture, I have explained. Now it goes into the next part, that is jejunium. Now from the jejunium, the food goes into ileum. All the digestion processes continue in the small intestine. This also I have explained you. I will show you the previous lecture. I have already explained you which type of enzymes are present and what they do. As I have told you, you have to learn them. So iripisin, it breaks peptones into peptide amino acid. Maltose, it broke sugar into maltose plus sugar. Sucrase, it broke sucrose into glucose plus fructose, lactose and glucose. All these I have already explained you. So these are the processes, these are occurring inside the small intestine. Now from here, the food, it goes into the large intestine, and from the large intestine, the food goes out from the body, that is through anus. Now the main process, that is the third process, digestion is over. Digestion is occurring in all the parts of the ingestion, means taking the food in. Now digestion is occurring in the stomach, through liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine. Okay, now one main process that is occurring inside the small intestine is absorption. Very, very important process. Now what happens, as I am telling you that all the food is getting absorbed till small intestine, the digestion of food occurs. Large intestine is not involved in digestion. So when the small intestine, the food is coming, as I have told you that in the small intestine, the wall of the small intestine, it contains villi, finger like projections. Okay, now suppose this is a small intestine. Okay, this is a small intestine. I am explaining you the process of absorption. Now in this absorption, this is the wall of small intestine. As I have told you, suppose I have taken only this much part of small intestine. I am explaining this much only. Okay, so suppose this is the part of small intestine. Now this wall, it contains small villi like structure inside. Is that clear? Where? Here. Okay, so these are the small finger like projections present inside the small intestine. As I have told you, these projections, this contain capillaries, blood vessels contains inside. Now what is happening? The food is going inside the small intestine. The villi are here. Villi, what they will do? They will contract and expand, contract and expand. Then the wall of this small intestine is permeable. Permeable means it will, because that food contains energy. Now that energy, it will go inside the villi. Is that clear? That energy will goes inside the villi. Okay, suppose this is a single villi. Now the energy is going inside the villi. Now inside the villi, what is present? Capillaries are present. So when the energy is going inside the capillaries, blood is present. So here the blood gets energy from the food, because in the small intestine the food is entering, that food is providing us the energy. Energy is going inside the villi like structure. Villi like structure contain the blood capillaries, and blood capillaries contain blood. So inside the blood the energy get mixed. Very important process. If you are not able to understand, listen it again and again, you will find the answer. So when the energy is mixing with the blood, blood is circulating to all the parts of the body. That is why our body is able to get energy through blood. When we eat the food, food only goes through the digestive system. But in the digestive system, small intestine is only the part which helps to give the energy to the blood. The blood is circulating to all the parts of the body, and that blood gives energy to all the parts of the body. Is that clear, children? The energy the body is getting through blood, as well as lungs gives oxygen. So because of that oxygen, the oxygen is circulating through blood to all the parts of the body. So that is the main process occurring inside the small intestine. So from the book, that topic absorption, read it carefully. I have given the explanation in very simple words. So just listen that and just read that absorption very minutely, you will get the answer. Now the next process is assimilation. Now assimilation is the blood, it carrying the digested food. As I have told you, the blood, it is carrying the digested and dissolved food to all the parts of the body. Now that assimilated food used by the body cell for obtaining energy. Okay, what is assimilation? If we ask you what is assimilation, assimilation means the digested food, the dissolved food is carried by the blood to all the parts of the body, and that food gives the energy. Here the food is getting absorbed. In absorption, the food is getting absorbed, but in assimilation, it is circulating through blood. Where? To all the parts of body. That is called assimilation. And when the blood is giving us energy, so we are able to grow, we are able to repair of the body cells occur, as well as when we respire, when we breathe, we are taking oxygen in. At that time we are taking the oxygen, food is giving us the energy, then our body is able to work properly. Now sometimes it happens, sometimes we eat extra food. That extra food also gives extra energy. Okay, so that extra energy we will get later on. That food, where it gets stored? It gets stored in the form of carbohydrate, or you can say in the form of glycogen, and it gets stored in the liver. Whenever the food is less in the body, the liver, it gives that glycogen to the body, and then we are able to get the energy. Okay, so we can ask you, where the extra food get stored in the body? Extra food gets stored in the body, in the liver, in the form of glycogen. Whenever the body requires the energy, the liver, it gives that extra amount of glycogen to the digestive tract, and the body is able to get the energy. That is why, children, when some people they do fasting. Okay, so at that time of fasting, they are not eating anything, but that doesn't affect their body, because already our body contains some stored food inside us in the form of fats, in the form of glycogen. So at that time our body is able to get energy. So that is the process of assimilation. Now the last process of this process of nutrition is egestion. Egestion is going out. When the food is going out. Now you all know the food is going out from the body through a part that is called rectum, and rectum is connected by anus. Okay, so that is the part which help in taking out the food from the body. So the process in which the food pass out from the body, that process is called egestion. Or one more definition is given in your book. That definition is the act of expelling the feces. Feces means the waste material that is coming out from the body is called egestion or defecation. Okay, that also definition you have to learn. The act, or you can write in your own words also, the process in which the waste material removed out from the body is called egestion or defecation. Okay, at that time, because anus, when we pass out the waste material from our body, there are some muscles which expand or contract. So those muscles are called anal, because they are present near to the anus. So these muscles are called anal sphincters. Sphincter means which can stretch. So these, the exit of the feces in the anus is controlled by the anal sphincters. So that is why whenever the the rectum get filled with the food, at that time the person feels pressure at anus, and then the person goes to the washroom, goes to the toilet to just eject that waste material from the body. So that is also egestion. So what you have to do now, you have to write these definitions in your own language in your copies. So that will be helpful for you for learning. So this is all for today, children, and in the next video the few topics are still left of this chapter we are going to discuss in the next video. Thank you, children.